Hello, good morning, grade 11 students. We are now in our week 9 lesson, and our topic for today is about exponential function, equation, and inequality. Okay, so you have evaluated functions in which the variable is the base and the exponent is any real number. For example, we have here an example y equals x cubed has x as the base. So, ari ato nga base ang x. Okay, let me... So, we have here our base x and has a power of 3 or exponent of 3, also known as power. Such a function is known as a power function. So if aton yung variable or ang aton base is the variable x, then ang aton nga exponent or aton power is any real numbers, then that is what we call power function. So functions of the form y equals a exponent x, so where a, muna siya aton nga base, and x or a is a positive real numbers other than 1. So, ang base ta, pwede miski ano nga number or miski ano nga positive numbers except positive 1. And then, ang ato nga exponent, that is the variable x. So, this is what we know as the exponential functions. So, try to differentiate the power function and the exponential functions. So, sa aton nga power functions, ang base ta, muna siyang x, while sa aton nga exponential functions, ang aton x variable is our exponent, and then aton base, muna siya ang any positive real numbers other than 1. Okay, so we have here the difference between power function, f of x equals x exponent 3. This is an example of power functions where base is x and our exponent here is 3. We have here exponential function f of x equals 3 exponent x where ang base naman di siya amon sa ang number, and then aton nga exponent is the variable x. So, I hope you understand the difference between power function and the exponential function. And if you graph this using our graphing calculator, the GeoGebra, so we have here the graph of f of x equals 3x. So, may siya nga graph, while our exponential function, iya graph is f of x equals x cubed, or aton nga power function, rather. So, may siya aton nga graph sa power function. So, exponential functions, the exponential function f with base a is denoted by f of x equals ax, where a must be greater than 0 and a must not be equal to 1, and x is any real number. So, why is it that a or our base must not be equal to 1? So, let's have here, note that the base a equals to 1 is excluded because it yields f of x equals 1 exponent x equals 1, which is a constant function. Considering the definition, it follows that the domain of f is the set of real numbers, and it can be shown that the range of f is the set of all positive real numbers. So, take note of that, nga ang domain permis ang aton nga exponential function is set of real numbers, and then its range is set of all positive real numbers. Okay, so let's have here a case, or let's have here examples. Why is it that our base hindi dapat mag-equal sa 1? So we have here f of x equals, so what if being aton base is 1 and then ang aton nga exponent x? Okay, so let x, so kung x tabi is 2. So let's substitute 2. So 1 squared, that is equals 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. So di ba ang exponent, that indicates how many times a number to be multiplied by itself. Okay, so let's have, if our exponent is 4. Exponent 4. So 1 times 1, that is 1, times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is still 1. Okay, so let's try f of 100. So you use calculator if you want. So what if di ko nga ito exponent is 100? Ginako ko na siya. Still, the answer is 1. So that's why that a must not be equal to 1 kay any number, or if our base is 1 and raised to any number, still the answer is 1. Okay, so we have here a table showing the difference between exponential function, exponential equation, and exponential inequality. A function written in the form f of x equals a exponent x, this is our exponential function, or sometimes we are using y equals a exponent x. So, in our exponential function, if given kita a certain input, may kita corresponding output for our function. So, for example, given ang aton nga input, and then aton input is 1, or aton exponent b is 2, and then may ara kita corresponding nga value sang y, or for our f of x. So, we have here an example, f of x equals 6x. Amo siyang example sang aton nga exponential function. And then let's proceed to exponential equation. An equation which have variables in the exponents. So, maghambal kita ya exponential equation. So, both left side and right side of our equal sign must be equal. So, kung isolve mo ni ang certain value of x, dapat sa left side and the right side of our equal sign, dapat equal sila nga duwa. So, kung may ka na ni values ang x, you substitute this to your variable x, and then dapat equal sa left side and the right side ng ato yung equal sign. That is the exponential equation. So, when we say exponential inequality, an inequality which have variables in the exponent. So, sa exponential inequality, we are using the symbol inequality sign. So, muna na para mas tapos mag-identify sa exponential inequality. So we have here the properties of exponential function. The domain f is the set of real numbers, and then the range of f is the set of positive real numbers. So I want you to take note of this, that the domain is always the set of real numbers. So kung pamakuton, taka mo gani, ano ang domain sa ating exponential functions, amo lang ni siya always ang sabat nyo. The set of real numbers. Nagpamangkot naman ko sa range, the set of positive real numbers, which means hindi included ang negative numbers. Positive lang din. And the y-intercept is at point 0, 1, and that is f of 0 is equal to 1. For number 4, f of 1 is equal to a. So, ang ginanamin din number 4 is, ang aton base, erase to an exponent of 1, the answer is by itself. So, for number 5 is a is greater than 0 but less than 1. As the value of x increases, the value of y decreases. So, karon may pakita ko din nga graph. If a is greater than 1, as the value of x increases, the value of y increases. The function of f is 1 to 1, that is a exponent x is equal to a exponent of y, if and only if x is equal to y. The graph of f has a horizontal asymptote, that is y equals 0 and or the x-axis. Okay, so we have here the graph of our exponential functions. So, given ang aton base, which is 1/2, and then if our exponent increases, so for example, ang value ka x is here, negative 3, and then nagdako siya negative 2, naging negative 1 ang aton x. So, if x here is positive 1, if x is positive 2, so what happened to our graph? So, ang aton graph naga-decreasing as the value of x increases. So, kung nagapakadto kita sa right side na from left pakadto na right side sang aton yung x-axis, ang value sang x nga ginasubstitute sa aton yung exponential function, naga-decrease ang aton nga graph. So, what if ang aton nga base, which is higher than 1 ang aton nga base, which is 2. Okay. So, as the value of x increases, so, substitute be negative 4 sa x, diri aton nga point. If ang aton nga value sa x is negative 2, diri na aton point. If the value of x is positive 1, if the value of x is positive 2, diri na siya nga point. Okay, so nagaano ang aton graph? That is increasing. So again, if our base is greater than 1, as the x increases, aton graph also increases. If ang aton nga base is less than 1, then that is naga-decreasing. Okay, sorry, mayroon ko di another example. So what have you noticed as a in f of x increases? So, if ang ato nga a is nag-start lang kita sa 2. Okay? And then, ang aton a is nagimo 3. And then, ang aton nga a, nagimo siya 4. So, what have you noticed? So, as the value of a increases, amo ni siya ang 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, kung naga-increase siya nga naga-increase, mas nagapalapit siya nga nagapalapit sa aton nga y-axis. Ari aton nga y-axis, oh. So, mas nagapalapit siya nga nagapalapit if a is increasing. So, what have you noticed as a in f of x equals a exponent of negative x increases? So, take note, ang aton naman di nga exponent is negative x. So, sa dire, if our exponent is negative x and then naga-increase si a, so naging mo siya 2, and then naging mo siya 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so mas nagadasig siya mag-decrease or naga-decrease ang aton niya graph, nagapapanaog ang aton nga graph. And also, nagapalapit man siya sa aton nga y-axis. So, sa diriya, if aton nga exponent is positive x, ang aton graph is naga-increasing. If ang aton nga exponent here is negative x, ang aton nga graph naga-decreasing. Okay, so that's all. I hope you will be able to differentiate exponential functions, exponential equations, and exponential inequality. So for the summary, so sa ating exponential function, we are using y or f of x. Sa atin naman yung exponential equation, we are using the equal sign, and dapat we are solving here for the value of x, so that sa left side, kaya sa right side, sa aton niya equal sign must be equal. So, ang duwa na di dapat ka number must equal. For example, b5x is equal to 25. So, ano siya dapat ang value ka x para mag-equal sila sa 25? So, that is 5 squared is equal to 25. So, therefore, 25 is equal to 25. So, may isang example sa atin yung exponential equation. We are solving for a certain value of x. So, ginasolve po tayo ang value ka x para mahimo ta nga equal ang left and right side sa aton nga equal sign. So, sa atin naman yung exponential inequality, we are using the inequality symbol, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and then less than or equal to. Okay, so that's it. I hope you understand this topic. Thank you for listening.